Hi, it's Ariel. I just wanted to make a video about seizure medications and the risk of withdrawing too quickly and how that can cause problems, dangerous seizures, basically. So, myself, I used to take Dilantin when I was 19, and then when I was 22, for some reason, due to lots of things, I decided that I should go off of it. It wasn't really helping as much as I would have liked. It wasn't stopping my seizures. So I decided to go off it without my doctor, which is not a good idea. And I did. And then within a couple of weeks, and I don't know exactly how long it was or anything because I was going through a lot of stuff where I don't remember much at that point. But I did have the experience of withdrawing from the medication where I went into having seizures repetitively. So I went to, ended up in the hospital because I had status epilepticus. So basically, I went off mine. One day I had a seizure in the morning. That was the usual for me, have a tonic-clonic seizure in the morning or at night. And then normally that would be it. So I had a seizure, then I think nobody in my family stayed around the house because usually if I've had one seizure, then I'm okay. Well, then a couple hours later, I had another one. And so I called my sister and she came over, and then I guess I had a third one while she was there. So she decided to take me to the emergency room because I've never had more than one tonic-clonic seizure in a day. So they were getting shorter together, like the time was consolidating. So basically I had one in the morning, then I had one at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock or something, then one at 12 or something, and then went to the emergency room. And I just remember being there. I was so tired, which I'm sure that everyone feels that way after 3 tonic-clonic seizures. And my sister tried to get me to go to the hospital, and I was just like, oh, I felt awful. But I went, and I remember standing there, and I looked down, and I realized I was in my pajamas, and I was like, what? Like, what am I doing in the hospital in my pajamas? And so what I did is then they had me get on a gurney. The problem is I had another seizure at that point. So they did an IV in me of lorazepam, which is Ativan, which is a benzodiazepine which is used especially in emergency seizure situations. So that was not good. Basically, that fourth seizure, because they were getting closer together, that's a sign of status epilepticus where it's not going to stop necessarily. When they start getting closer together, then the concern is that you may start seizing continuously and not stop. So, I mean, I had 4, then I was in the ICU, so I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't gotten to the hospital, but I may have just kept having them until you can have them until you die. So I'm not trying to say that like that's going to happen to everybody, but this was just a medication withdrawal that was not done properly. And so sometimes seizure meds can actually cause seizures, worsen them when you're withdrawing from a medication. So it depends if you're going on to another epilepsy medication. That is a very different situation. But if you're coming off of epilepsy medication and you do it too quickly or without supervision of any kind, you know, to get you on the amounts to taper down, you can actually cause more seizures. So that's a real danger. So that can cause status epilepticus, and want everyone to be careful.